Hi everyone, this is Lindsay. I am doing a flower project, a textured flower project that I am making with Liquitex light modeling paste and some craft paint. I'm using Love Color from Deco Arts Cherry Bomb for the red, and I actually don't know what I did with this one. This is gold. It's the Glorious Gold from Deco Art as well, to make that kind of brownish goldish color. And then this black part that I did in the back was a project I did that I actually didn't like how it turned out. And so I painted it black, but I figured that might be a good background to practice these flowers with, you know, kind of experiment with what kind of knives I want to use. These are kind of the ones I've kind of boiled it down to, but we're gonna see. And so basically what I'm gonna do is try to move this up a little bit. I'll probably move this over. I'll start on this side. And I have my glass with me. You always want to try to do it on glass or tile or something that's easily cleanable, but also easy to get the flowers off of. You can use like a wax paper, like canvas pad, but sometimes that will rip the canvas paper or the wax paper, and it just doesn't work very well. So glass is what I recommend, but it's up to you on what you have. Sometimes you can get these on clearance at Hobby Lobby, and sometimes at Michael's. So I have some baby wipes with me. I have paper towels. I have an apron on. And then we're just gonna get started on this one. So I'm gonna start with the flower petals. I'm gonna make a couple golden ones and then a couple red ones. And then I'm gonna try to make a kind of rose one as well. So we'll see how it goes. And so I'm gonna start with the golds, and I'm just gonna kind of scoop it out onto my glass. I think I put too much craft paint in it because it's not as thick as I kind of want it to be, but we're just gonna try it out. So I'm just gonna make it, so it's very creamy, like a creamy, frothy mixture. I don't know, I'm trying to think of what this would be. It would kind of just be like a whipped cream kind of, what is that called? Look of it, I guess, feel of it. I'm trying to think, I'm drawing a blank. So anyway, I'm just trying to make it kind of more spread out so that I can make my flower. So I'm just gonna do this. And so you want your knife to be as clean as you can. Obviously I didn't clean mine off last time because there's stuff on it, but pretty much as clean as you can get it. And then what I'm gonna do is scrape myself a good flower bead. So right now it's kind of too kind of watered down with that acrylic paint added to it, so it's not sticking on my palette knife. So I might have to put a little bit more of that paste in it. We'll see. It's supposed to be more centered on the knife than kind of off to the side, but we'll try it. So you press down, pull up. Yeah, it's not forming very well. I need to make it thicker. So what I'm gonna do is get my paste here and just add some more to that. It will lighten my color up here, but it's just too thin right now. So I'm just gonna put more in here. hope that that helps it thicken up a little bit. I'm gonna put this over here. Sure, I'll need it again. All right, so we're just gonna mix this together. And I just use these paper cups. I still use, but I use like Glad Tupperware. But it just easier for these throwaway cups, in my opinion. Plus I could just put like a little saran wrap on top of it and good to go. These are a lot cheaper than saran wrap containers, or not saran wrap, Glad, like Glad Tupperware is what I usually put stuff in, but those are kind of expensive, so these cups are just better to have. So that one did lighten up the color, but that's okay. It's just too thin. So we're just gonna get all that mixed together. Hope that helps a little bit. It's still a little thin, but we're gonna hope for the best here. Okay, do that. I'm gonna wipe off my spatula with my baby wipe so that it cleans it. Otherwise you get a mess if you wait till later. Okay, let's try this again. All right, so what I'm wanting to do, it's a little bit thicker. We'll see if it works. Hopefully you can kind of see that. Yeah, that's better. It's a little better, we'll see. It's like already drying. And then we'll do a little, there we go. That's much better. I'm gonna do some different shapes. Like this is kind of a larger knife. So I'm gonna do a couple of different shapes, sizes. I'm gonna do one over here. Let's see, I'm supposed to go like this. I don't know if you could tell that's really gold. It's not as dark as I wanted it, but that's a white paste, very opaque, so that's why I lightened it a little bit when I added more to it. Kind of a lopsided flower. I'm still experimenting with placement, so it's still taking me a little bit of time to get this right, but that's what this is all about, is experimentation. like a double petal. All right, I'm gonna take this off of my knife here. I'm gonna do a couple with the red and then I'll switch to a different knife. So if you do this right away, then it's like less mess later. Okay. So I'm gonna get the red out. So I'm just, again, gonna do similar. This is a lot thicker, so that's good. See, I'm just playing around with it. See, that one I need more. Kind of trying to get it to, I don't want to see the black background, so. I really like this red. It's really hard to get red because this white paste is so white and usually it turns like a pink color, and this is a beautiful red color. I'm really digging it. So what I could also do is take this red and kind of put it in the middle as like the center. I just need to move that one up a little bit more and then it'll look a little bit more cohesive. But I'm gonna rinse off my glass because it's starting to get hard on there. So I'm gonna get all this off my knife. Good habits, always wipe your knife off. And so sky's the limit really on what kind of design you want to do. It's really just up to you and what you like. So it sometimes can be really fun to try to just make things up. Sometimes it's fun to do a whole bunch of different colors. It's up to you on what you want to do. Also what we could do, let's see. So there's like kind of that side of it. If we like move it, maybe this side maybe. Can change it up a little bit. I can do like a large, let's see. Let me get this out here. Okay, so I'm going to use this knife. This is more of a rounded. What I'm going to do is kind of make a little rose kind of bud here. There's different ways of doing this, but this one I'm kind of experimenting with. Kind of push down and you pull it. So it's like a rose petal. Trying to get it. It's hard because I'm at a weird angle with it. So let's try it again. Kind of have to like do it at an angle kind of. So there kind of looks like a rose right there. And then take some of this on your knife here and kind of go in the middle. Starting to melt a little bit. Kind of have to manipulate it a little bit. So there's kind of a rose there. Let me just get rid of this. But that just takes practice, you know, experimentation, trying to get what kind of angle you want it to be at, things like that. That just takes time. All right, so I'm gonna stop using that one and I'm gonna use this angled one here with this gold. The gold still isn't as thick as the red is, but that's okay. So I just, yeah, it still falls off my knife, so still not thick enough. I put a lot of gold in there because I was trying to make it really shiny, but it just didn't work out that way. Just this is also a slightly smaller knife, so it'll be a little bit smaller of leaves. And you always want your knife to be basically pointed towards the center. So this side should be facing that way. I don't always do that right, and then I could tell that it's not going to look very good. I feel like the gold just didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, so just this looks kind of brown. So I don't know if I would do gold next time. If it would stay the pretty gold color, that would be different, but it kind of changes because of that white paste. But you know what? These colors will darken as they dry, so it might look okay at that in the end. Who knows? So right now I'm just kind of playing with the different colors here, but I guess I'm not really a huge fan of this gold. I don't know if I would use it again. But let's use some of the red. I'm gonna just clean off my glass. It's just good practice to always just clean it off after a few times. Otherwise it gets caked on there and it's hard to use after that. All right, let's get this one out. What I've done is like kind of experimented with all the different sizes of palette knives and like what they all look like. And these ones are kind of my favorite. Some of them just don't make the flower look very good or the petal. So I like these specific ones, but you might like other ones, you know? That's why I really recommend to experiment with different sizes. And I actually don't like this right here, so I'm gonna just put the red right on top of it. Can always mix the colors up here a little bit. That might make it kind of cool looking. You know? So it's like already starting to dry, so it's kind of something you have to be kind of quick about. I don't want the background to show. Or if you're not happy with it, you could scrape it off. But this is my experiment, so. I like the doubling up of the flower petals. I think that looks kind of cool. So I'm gonna save that red for another project. But I think I'm just gonna use some white now, maybe some white. I'm not digging the gold. But again, it's time, because this is drying on here, it makes it hard to scrape it off. I'm gonna just wipe it off here. My easiest thing to do is use a baby wipe.